So first things, can you walk us through Square's product building philosophies? And in particular, what are some of the key principles that you felt were very unique to the company? And given you had a very long tenure there, I'm sure you saw a company's kind of the entire life cycle. What were your key learnings on that front?
Yeah, I I think Square had an incredible product culture. I learned a ton during my time there. In fact, I even remember my first interaction with the Square little white reader. I was in a taxi in New York, and the cabbie plugged it into the headphone jack of his iPhone, and he just punched in the total amount, swiped my card through. I signed his screen, grabbed the card, and walked out. And I just remember that being such a magical experience that it still stuck with me a decade plus later, seeing like the product from his side because I was behind him, and then my side of signing it. It was so clear to me that a company that could come up with all those interaction points, those details between the buyer and seller, using both the hardware and the software, was just, it was a company that was going to be filled with incredible product minds. And I don't mean that I assume that they had employees whose roles had the word product in their title, but it was just the designers, the engineers, customer support, any of the builders or everyone who contributed to the product had a keen sense of the problem they were solving
Mm.
and the customer that was at the center of all of their considerations when solving that. And so by the time I got to Square, it was a pretty well-known product company. The mission statement was to bring economic empowerment to our customers, the small and medium businesses. And if we helped them grow, we would grow. That was just the mantra. And so that central theme or quality or mindset, whatever you wanted to call it, was pervasive around the company. In any given meeting, you could hear debates that rang out trying to determine what was best for our customers. And we always anchored back on that customer centricity. It was the core of that product building philosophy. And we also had really early principles in those early days that I really enjoyed. They were called the Square Four Corners
Mm.
because of the square. The corners were start small, give it soul, show, don't tell, and break the rules. And I honestly still love using some of those principles in my work and my thinking because it breaks down the essence of what it takes to build something new, bring in a craftsmanship and quality to that endeavor, and then get creative with the solution. And I think that's what was really unique to the company and what allowed it to create a category defining impact. And so if those four principles help, I think it was like customer centricity and then how to operate was really important in those early days.